got out of a I want to say 6 month. Let me see, month relationship. I had the epiphany, right? You know when people talk about marriage and they talk about being married and they be like, oh well, when you marry, like you have to get over that 7 year hump or that 7 year itch, and that's how like your marriage is going to survive because if you go over that 7 year, I don't know what it was, but it is. I know it's like this thing that people say about reaching that 7 year marker. So I had the epiphany that when people talk about like the whole 7 year marker, my epiphany was that I can't get past the 7 month hump when it comes to me being in relationships on this non-monogamy journey, because it's like my most recent two relationships where there was a title and everything on it, I can't get past 7 months. But that's where I'm at with being non-monogamous. Like I feel like 7 months is my 7 year hump. Like I can't get past 7 months with people. Maybe I think I mean I don't know. I can't say what's the reason. Do I take accountability for my part in experiences? Yes. But in the same token, I feel like maybe 7 months is the sweet spot where people decide to remove masks and show their real colors. Or maybe when you get closer to the year mark, people start to reevaluate stuff. Because I try not to date single women, but my dating pool isn't that super big because I am a woman who dates other women over 30 women. So like I don't know if it's like at the almost year mark, people decide they want to remove the mask and like show who they really are, or if it's people start to realize they like something in theory, but like when it gets to the almost year part, they realize they don't like it in practice. And I think that's what's happening with me in non-monogamy. I'm going to take accountability on my end, and I'm going to say that with me and my self-reflection that I had over the weekend, my self-awareness, I date women, and I date women over 30, and I date Black women. And I know my dating pool is very limited because of that, but that's just the choice I'm making, right? I would prefer to date other women who are in relationships or long-term situations like myself, because I feel like it's a better understanding there. But it just so happens that's not who I run into. I meet single women who are in my preference range, and I feel like when it gets to a certain point for them, they realize a relationship with me or the person who is in a marriage, who is in a nesting situation, is something they no longer want because of society's standards. They kind of want the same thing that I guess I have. And I don't know. I'm processing shit in real time in my mind, so it may not even make sense to nobody else, but I don't know. I'm just having a hard time dating right now. Granted, I'm not having the problems like a single person who is out dating would have. And I know me speaking, I'm also speaking from a place of privilege, because although I am in the dating scene, I don't technically have to be by people's standards because I have a husband and I'm nested and I've created a life with someone. But in reality, I am still in the dating scene and I still deal with the shit that goes on in the dating scene. I could stop meeting people who like the idea of me, I guess the idea of what I may represent. And then after a while, if they no longer want that, I wish I could stop meeting those people, because that's the people I feel like I'm running into. I feel like I'm running into people who like the idea of being with me, but who can't handle the practice of actually being with me.